Hey guys, welcome back to my video, or welcome back to my channel, and my video. Today we're going to be recapping the New Orleans Saints 22-17 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers. There were some ups, there were some downs, there was even some ugly. And I'm here to break that to you today, fellas. Let's start with this team. And then we're going to go over the Chargers and the team stats and stuff like that. Jameis Winston was 13 of 21, 169 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. It was a good day by Jameis. It was a good day by Jameis, and I'm not discrediting him. You know, Jameis, he can do wrong and he can do right. He did some wrong and some right. He had a beautiful pass before halftime. He was putting our offense in check, you know, to score some points, even though it barely happened. But hey, we scored points, though. But he has to work on his footwork. I'm glad you're not turning the ball over. I don't want to sound like a hater, because for those that know, I used to love Jameis, and I still do. I still love Jameis. But at the same time, we cannot have him getting hurt. I'm not going to be a yes man. I'm not going to... I don't care if I hurt your feelings, because I'm saying something that you don't want me to say. I'm my own body, so and this is my own mouth, and I'm gonna say what I want with it. Jameis needs to work on his footwork. Jameis is not the best quarterback in the NFL. You know, Jameis has fallen a little bit. I hope one day he can be a starting quarterback, but it's not that time. But then Jake Haener, 11 of 17. 118 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Good stuff. Jake Haener played pretty well. Played better than he did the first one. Pretty good. All right. Rushing the football. Kendre Miller, 10 rushes, 23 yards, averaged 2.3 yards per carry, but also had a touchdown. Kendre Miller scored the only touchdown of the game, and it was at a good time in the second quarter. We like those Kendre Miller. Darrell Williams played pretty good. 8 carries, 17 yards, 2.1 yards a carry, and 0 touchdowns. We like those. We like that. Darrell Williams, 17 yards, 8 carries. You know, I feel like when he did come in the game, he was efficient. So, yeah. Ellis Merriweather, please make this guy make the damn team. Ellis Merriweather, 5 carries, 15 yards, 3 yards a carry, 0 touchdowns. Whatever. I'm still holding on what he did in preseason week 1. And he played pretty well. All right. Then Jontre Kirkland had 1 carry for 8 yards a carry, and 0 touchdowns. That was probably jet sweep, I think. And then Jake Haener, 2 carries, -2 yards, -1 yards a carry, and 0 touchdowns. Okay. Then receiving. Shaquan Davis, 3 receptions, 63 yards, 21 yards a reception, and 0 touchdowns. Shaquan Davis was balling. He was out there balling. Alright, then Jontre Kirkland was playing pretty good too. He had 3 receptions, 59 yards, 19.7 yards a catch, and 0 touchdowns. Don't be surprised if he makes the team. Then Lynn Bowden, 2 receptions for 37 yards, 18.5 yards a reception, and 0 touchdowns. He had an amazing screen pass. And I saw somebody call him Lil Jordan Humphrey. Lil Jordan Humphrey's with the Broncos. But yeah, that was Lynn Bowden with that screen pass. That was amazing by Lynn Bowden. He's been pretty good too. Kendre Miller, 3 receptions, 36 yards, 12 yards to catch, and 0 touchdowns. Good stuff, Kendre Miller. Alright. Lucas Kroll played like dog water. 3 receptions, 30 yards, 10 yards to catch, no touchdowns. If you look at his stats, it looks good. But if you watch the game like I did, that man had bricks for hands. Alright. Alright, next, Ellis Merriweather. 4 receptions for 26 yards, 6.5 yards to catch, and no touchdowns. Man, Ellis Merriweather is a dual threat running back. Alright, A.T. Perry did have the game he had the first one, but he still played solid. You know, he had 3 receptions for 22 yards, 7.3 yards to catch, and no touchdowns. You know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Darrell Williams had, Kirk Merritt, 1 reception, 8 yards to catch, no touchdowns, okay. Darrell Williams, 1 reception, 4 yards to catch, and no touchdowns, okay. And Adam Prentice, 1 reception, 2 yards to catch, and 0 touchdowns, okay. Now let's look at the defense. Nico Lalos, our best defender of the game. No doubt about it. He had 4 tackles, 1 assist, 3 sacks, and 0 interceptions. No, but Nico Lalos, he had, I think, back-to-back sacks to force the Chargers to a 4th down at the end of the game, which they ended up converting, but it's alright. And Malcolm Roach played pretty well. He had 4 tackles, no sacks, and no picks, alright. Ryan Connolly, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 0 interceptions. Easton Stick was dying back there, okay? Anthony Ori, 3 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Smoke Monday played better. 3 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Adrian Fry had 2 tackles, 1 assist, 0 sacks, 0 picks. Alright. And Ugo Amadi, please make this guy make the team. Please. Ugo Amadi, 2 tackles, 2 assists, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. I thought he had a pick, but okay. Lonnie Johnson, bounced back game a bit. He had 2 tackles, 0 sacks, and 1 interception. Good job, Lonnie Johnson. Next, DeMarco Jackson, 2 tackles, 1 assist, 0 sacks, and 0 interceptions. He played pretty good, but he's going to basically be used on special teams. Troy Pride played pretty well. He had 2 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Bradley Roby, I still want this guy off my team. But Bradley Roby had 2 tackles, no sacks, no picks. Cool. Anthony Johnson, 2 tackles, no picks, no sacks. Jonathan Abram had 1 tackle, 2 assists, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Nephi Sewell, 1 tackle, 3 assists, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Jalen Smith was out there balling. He had the first tackle of the game. Yep. Yeah, Jalen Smith, 1 tackle, 2 assists, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Jordan Howden had a great hit. at the end of the game and had 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Colin Saunders, 1 tackle, 1 assist, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Peyton Turner, he's going to be the breakout player on this team. Okay, Peyton Turner had 1 tackle, 1 sack, and 0 interceptions. Tano Campasino, 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Yes. Then Jerron Cage, 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 picks. Paulson Adebo, 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 picks. Isaac Yiadom. Clap it up for Yiadom. He had 1 tackle, no sacks, but he did have an interception. Okay? And then Ty Summers had 1 tackle, 0 sacks, 0 picks. Zach Wood had 0 tackles, 0 sacks, and 0 picks. Nick Anderson, 0 tackles, 0 sacks, and 0 interceptions. Jack Heflin, 0 tackles, 1 assist, 0 sacks, 0 interceptions. Zach Bond, 0 tackles, 1 assist, 0 sacks, and 0 interceptions. Prince Emily had 0 tackles, 1 assist, 0 interceptions, 0 picks. Isaiah Foskey, he had, I think, the most pressures in this game. He had 0 tackles, 1 assist, 0 picks, and 0 interceptions. 0 sacks and 0 interceptions. And then Brian Brees, look out for him. 0 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 picks, though. Then on the kick returns, don't be surprised if we go for a couple kick return touchdowns, okay? Lynn Bowden, 2 returns, 41 yards, 20.5 yards a return, and 0 touchdowns. Ellis Merriweather, 1 return, 21 yards, 21 yards a return, 0 touchdowns. Then Kirk Merritt had 1 return, 13 yards a return, 0 touchdowns. Then punt returns. Lynn Bowden, 3 returns, 13 yards, 4.3 yards a return, 0 touchdowns. And Ugo Amadi, 1 return, 17 yards a return, and 0 touchdowns. Kicking the football, Will Lutz was 3 for 3, 100%. His longest was a 51-yarder and scored 9 points. Then Blake Grupe was 2 for 2, 100%. His longest field goal was a 37-yarder and scored 7 points. Then punting the football, Louise Headley had 5 punts for 221 yards, 44.2 average yards a punt, and 2 punts inside the 20. Then Blake Gillikin had 2 punts for 90 yards, 45 yards, or average 45 yards a punt, and 1 punt inside the 20. Alright. Charges. Easton Stick was 21 of 41, 233 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Rushing the ball, Easton Stick had 7 carries, 63 yards, 9 yards a run, and 2 touchdowns. Damn. So the only reason Chargers got 17 points is because of Easton Stick on the ground. Isaiah Spiller had 5 carries, 27 yards, 5.4 yards a run, and 0 touchdowns. Elijah Dotson, 6 carries, 21 yards, 3.5 yards a run, and 0 touchdowns. And Joshua Kelly, 4 carries, 9 yards, 2.2 yards a run, and 0 touchdowns. Receiving the football, Keelan Doss, 3 receptions, 42 yards, 14 yards to catch, and 0 touchdowns. Terrell Bynum, 1 reception, 39 yards a return, and 0 touchdowns. Quentin Johnson, the rookie receiver out of TCU, 3 receptions, 37 yards, 12.3 yards a catch, and 0 touchdowns. Then Stone Smart, 4 receptions, 32 yards, 8 yards a catch, 0 touchdowns. Then Hunter Campomoyer, who is that? 2 receptions, 25 yards, 12.5 average yards a catch, or 12.5 yards a catch and 0 touchdowns. I'm not gonna lie, Easton Stick is spreading the ball, and he was pretty good today, or last night. Darius Davis, who honestly is a sleeper. I know I'm not a Chargers fan, but Charger fans don't. He's a sleeper. He had 3 receptions, 24 yards, 8 yards a catch, and 0 touchdowns. Ontario Wilson, 1 catch, 14 yards a catch, 0 touchdowns. John Hightower, 1 catch, 10 yards a catch, 0 touchdowns. Tyler Huseman, 2 receptions, 5 yards, 2.5 yards a catch, and 0 touchdowns. Joshua Kelly, 1 catch, 5 yards a catch, 0 interceptions. Alright. I'm not really going to go over anything else for the Chargers. For now on, I'm just going to say what the Saints have done, okay? But now, team stats for the Saints. We had 339 total yards, 278 passing yards, 61 rushing yards, 5.1 yards per play, 13 first downs. We were 5 of 17 on third downs. So yeah, we had 1 fourth down and we converted it. We were 1 for 1 on fourth downs. We had 66 total plays. We only allowed 2 sacks, and we only punted the ball 7 times. But we had 14 penalties for 141 yards. How's that possible in a preseason game? I know they're trying to make the roster. There's this one play in the first quarter. The defender nearly decapitated the Chargers player. Whatever. We also had 0 fumbles lost, 0 interceptions thrown, and we had 34 minutes and 14 seconds with the football. We like that. But that's it. My voice is running out, so peace out.